Hi everyone, good morning, good day, good evening, or good night, wherever you are watching us from. My given name is Manuel Senem Nagu, and my colleague here, his given name is Joseph Senem Yankis. Today we will going to talk about an important topic, which is behavioral management. The subtopic we chose was neglecting parenting style. I myself will talk on what is parenting style is all about, effects on children, solutions and prevention. And my colleague Joseph Yankis will elaborate on what is neglectful parenting is, examples and research, and conclusion part. By the way, before I proceed on, let me define what is parenting style is. Parenting style is the way parents raise their children, how they teach them values, discipline, and show love. Experts describe four main styles of parenting. The first one is commanding, second one is controlling, third one is accepting, and the fourth one is neglecting. Among these four parenting styles, neglecting parenting is the most harmful because it fails to give children the basic emotional support they need to grow well. Parents shape the development of their children not only by what they do but also by what they fail to do. This reminds us that even silence, distance, or lack of care can deeply hurt a child. I now hand over to Speaker B, who is none other than Mr. Joseph Yankis. He will further talk on what is neglecting parenting style.
Thank you, Manuel. As we have already heard from our first speaker about the types of parenting style, I now going to stress a little bit about neglecting parenting style. Neglectful parenting style refers to a parent's style where parents provide food, clothing, money, but fail to provide love, guidance, care, and attention. Children need more than materials, things. What they need care, encouragement, and bonding with their parents, and to feel ensure secure and safe. Neglectful parents are emotionally absent. They hardly ask about school, do not play with their children, and do not guide them to making choices. For example, imagine a child comes from school and then hoping to share about their day, but the parents is too busy on their phone or watching TV or even listening. The children slowly stop taking or feeling unimportant. Why does this happen? Sometimes parents are too busy with a job or feel tired. Others may face stress or poverty, addictions, or even mental illness. In some cases, parents repeat the neglect they experience as children and continue the cycle across generations. But whatever the reasons, the children end up with feeling invisible, lovely, or lonely, and unloved. For example, if flower gardens reflect the kind of care they get, then children or marriage or similarly reflect the kind of care, kind of care they will get too. So neglect shows a lack of respect, a lack of care, and this has lifelong effects. Now we know that what neglectful parenting is. So, Speaker A will explain its serious effects on children.
Once again, thank you. As we have already heard from Joseph Yankis about what is neglectful parenting style is. Now let me take this time to talk about the effects caused by neglectful parenting style. The effects of neglectful parenting are very serious and can affect every part of a child's life or children's life. First, the number one is through emotionally. Children who are neglected often feel lonely, unwanted, and unloved. They may think they are not good enough or not worthy of attention. For example, A child who never receives praise for their efforts may lose confidence and stop trying at school or in sports. Second, through academically. Neglected children usually perform poorly. Without guidance, they, they may have low grades, drop out of school, or struggle to focus. Teachers may notice such children often come unprepared, tired, or even angry. Okay, number 3 point is through socially. Neglected children often struggle to make friends. They may isolate themselves because they feel insecure, or they may see risky attention by joining gangs, misbehaving, or abusing drugs. For example, a teenager who feels ignored at home may spend more time with the wrong crowd just to feel accepted. Long-term neglected children may develop depression, anxiety, or addiction. Many repeat the cycle when they become parents themselves because they never experience healthy love at home. Imagine a child who never learned how to show affection. When that child become a parent, they may also struggle to show love to their own children. To support this, Speaker B will now say example and research.
Thank you, Speaker A. Research strongly confirms these effects or impacts. Psychologist Diana Palmerit found that neglect leads to the weakest outcomes in children compared to other parenting styles. Later studies also shows that neglected children often struggle with behavior, crime, or emotional problems. Let me give you one example. Research shows that children who feels ignored at home often seek attention elsewhere. So that a teenager may turn to strangers online for comfort. But this can expose them to dangerous influence like cybercrime or online predators. In another real case study, social workers found that children who were left alone for long hours with supervision often delivered risky behavior like skipping schools or stealing or substances abuse. So this shows that neglect doesn't just hurt the children but also harm the society or even in the communities. All right, children are not tend to be molded, but people to be unfolds. So neglect blocks this unfold process and prevents children from reaching these full potentials. But the good news is that neglect can be prevented. To explain on how, I'll hand it over back to Speaker A.
Thank you, Speaker B. The good news is that neglect can be prevented if families, schools, and communities work together. Firstly, parents need education and support. Parenting classes, counseling, and workshops can teach parents how to show love and discipline to get discipline. For example, many community centers run short courses that help parents learn how to manage stress and connect with their children. Secondly, schools play a big role. Teachers can identify children who are always angry, tired, or sad. Schools can provide meals, counseling services, or report cases of neglect to authorities. For example, in many countries, teachers are trained to look for signs of neglect and ensure that children get the help they need. Finally, communities and government must support struggling families, struggling families. Families facing poverty, addiction, or mental health problems need social problems, food assistance, health care, and counseling. For example, providing free health clinics or child care support. To wrap up our presentation, I now hand over to Joseph Bianchis for the conclusion.
Thank you, Speaker A. To conclude, neglectful parenting is the most harmful style because it leaves children lonely, unsupported, and risk of serious lifelong problems. But there is hope. With awarenesses, education, and community support, this cycle can be broken. So every children deserves not just food and shelter, but also love, guidance, care, and attention from parents. If we are to reach real peace in this world, we shall have to begin with the children. When we care for children, we care for future of our society or communities. With that, thank you for listening, and our presentation comes to an end.